to the beginners room with me today, everyone. It's Friday, and this is when we talk about patterns trading. So we're going to be looking into the market together and analyzing the strategies, the patterns that we can see in the market. We'll talk about what patterns trading involve, and then we try to find different patterns that are available in the market and see how we can analyze and trade them together. If you tune in with me and you have questions, please do well. Use the chat box. Let's know you're here. And I am also willing and ready to answer your trading questions. So bring them on. Okay, so whether you're tuning in with me on YouTube, you're watching from the beginner's room on XM websites, please do well to let know. Use the chat box. I'm here ready and willing to discuss the market with you. So like I said, we are looking at patterns trading. When we talk about patterns, what do they involve? What are we looking at? Basically, we are trying to find, some shapes that are being formed as the prices are moving, the price chart, the way they move. A lot of the time, you see different shapes, different patterns formed on the pattern. For instance, formed on the chart, on the price chart. For instance, like what the chart I have open at the moment, a layman looking at this we just see, red, green candles forming, moving up, sometimes moving to the downside. Other people will also see, okay, there are moving averages are there, they can tell, okay, this is an uptrending market, but you may not exactly be able to say, oh, this pattern or that is forming and this is what is telling us this is the direction that we probably would see the market going because of the pattern that has formed, right? However, for me, based on patterns trading, I have been able to, just as I open this chart, I can see some patterns that give idea of what the price would do, and the price did move in that direction as well. And one of them is this head and shoulders pattern here. This pattern here that looks with 3 peaks up here. So let me bring my pen tool so that you would understand where I'm coming from and what I'm talking about. Okay, so here we have like 3 peaks. These 3 peaks, we have high, we have higher high, and then we have lower high. This is called head and shoulders, especially when the middle one is higher than the others. So these two are the shoulders. We have the left shoulder, the right shoulder, and then the head. What will give me an idea that this is ready to move down when a lower low is created? At this point, a high is created, another high. So everything we are dealing with here are highs. The neckline is like giving us more like equal low, a new low hasn't been created yet. It is at this point when the price breaks below the neckline that a new low is created, and that low gives me a lower low. So what do I do in such case? I can do a sell. And I may choose to take my profit when it gets back to this last support. Or another way I can take my profits is by measuring the size of the head to the neckline, all right, and taking that and placing it below the neckline, in which case somewhere here, which will be kind of close to my entry, very close. And in that case, I will probably be getting more like one-to-one VIX to reward, which may not be, exactly what I want. Some people also do the measurements by placing it below the breakout candle. Okay, so you measure from the head to the neckline, and then the breakout candle, you place the size of the head to the neckline there and use that as a measurement. Some people also do that, in which case my take profit would also be somewhere around where I would have taken it if I used the last support. But for me, majority of the time, I just look for a support in the past that I feel if price get there, there's a possibility of the price bouncing back up. And that's it. So in that case, I would have been able to take a sell from after seeing the head and shoulders, and there will be the probability of taking the profit around here. This, by the way, is daily time frame. If we move away from the daily time frame and we go to other time frames like 4 hour, we go to 1 hour, even 5 minutes or 1 minute. These patterns form everywhere. This is just one of many patterns that I just talked about now. This one is head and shoulders top. We also have the one we consider as head and shoulders bottom, and this one gives us idea of sell. The head and shoulders bottom gives us idea that the price is going to change direction from a downtrend into an uptrend, in which case it's a buy I will be looking to do if I see such pattern form on my chart. Okay, so the bottom one, let me also show you that because I know it forms a lot of the time too, and it can give you idea or gives you opportunity for um that the trend is going to change. Of course, that's what we want to know. If we see the price have been in a downtrend, we want to know, is it going to continue in this downtrend or is it going to change? So this one down here is head and shoulders bottom, which gives buy high there. And you would see the price did move to the upside for some times before the change in direction. I also can see another one here, a big one here. Price did move to the downside for some times. And there is also a smaller one up there before this. So these patterns, depending on how you're looking at them, you would see them a lot of the time. Some may not form properly, some will form even better. So it all depends on how you're looking at it, what you're seeing in the market and all that. There is also the other pattern I'm observing here. This one looks like cup with handle pattern. Let me bring the pen tool also. I think I have Adam here. Adam, good to have you here. How are you doing? Welcome to the class with me today. This one looks like cup with handle. Cup with handle pattern is bullish. It's a bullish, can serve as bullish continuation pattern and also a bullish reversal. In any case, if the price goes to break above the handle of the cup, it gives us idea that the price wants to go up, right? And so that's the kind of trade I'll be looking out for. If I see the price breaking above the handle, I will look to do a buy, right? So you can see now signals here and there just simply because I'm able to identify patterns. This is daily time frame, like I had said. What if I go other time frame? Are there also such opportunities there? Well, in any case, what I'll do is I will analyze the different instruments that we are trading in the market, and then we try to find what pattern we can see there. There are different kind of patterns. The ones I have shown you now, they are serving as more of like reversal pattern, in which case an uptrend change to a downtrend when this that's what I'll be expecting if I see this kind of head and shoulders forming. If I have a downtrend and I see inverted head and shoulders forming, I will be expecting that the price wants to move to the upside, right? Now, there are also patterns that you're going to see in the market, and they give you an idea that this trend that is established is going to continue moving to the upside in a case of an uptrend. In the case of a downtrend, there you can also see patterns that will give you an idea that the trend that you're seeing would continue downward. All right, so these are very important patterns that I think are worthy for you to understand and be able to identify, because they would give you signals from time to time. The goal as for a trader, especially for those of you joining the class like this, is because you want to learn to become your personal signal provider. You want to be able to identify trade ideas in the market. If you analyze the market, you want to be able to know when to do a buy, when to do a sell on your own without someone having to tell you, oh, this is time to do your buy, or oh, go ahead and do your sell at this time, right? So to do that, I think one of the very good ways to do that is being able to identify trade patterns. And that's what we are looking at in the market today. This is GBP card. Let me move on to look at other instruments. GBP card, by the way, I do have a trade on it, which is still going on. And that trade What's made me do a buy on this one? You would see we have initially a downtrend in market, right? And then the price formed this pattern. What is this pattern here? Let me show you. So this pattern had formed as a double bottom. With a double bottom pattern formed, the price moved to the upside. And then at the time I was seeing it, price had retraced and it started to go up again. That gave me an idea that this may likely continue to the upside. And so what did I do? Find my buy somewhere there. All right. Because this, even though I'd pushed to the downside before, it already changed direction. By the time you see this double bottom and then a higher high got created, it goes ahead, gives us higher high here, comes down and gives us a low. This low is higher than the last low we had. And then again, another high, another low. Every new low is higher than the last. Every new high is still higher than the last. At this point, though, we have this small high here that got created and a low, but the low is still higher than the last, which is one of the reasons I'll still hold on to the trade I have. If I'm considering just this high, I might say, oh, this high is already slightly lower than the last high. What if the trend wants to change? But because the major trend is still pointed up, the current candle is bullish, I'll still be holding on to this buy, expecting the price to continue higher. Now, what gave me the first idea that the price may go to the upside, the pattern that I see here. So these patterns, they work a lot. They give us ideas of what the price will do, especially if you would also incorporate multiple time frame analysis with it. So you're not just looking at the fact that this is 4 hour time frame, this kind of pattern has formed here, and I'm just going to go ahead and jump in and do a buy, or I'm just going to do a sell. You're also considering what's happening on the other time frames, the higher time frames, the lower time frames, and comparing all of that to be able to have an idea of the overall trend of the market and what the price is doing at the moment, so that you are able to tell whether the reversal pattern you're seeing is reversing the price from the trend that they had before to join the new trend, or what it will be. You're able to tell which one you're seeing in the market. Okay, so let's see other instrument. Like I said, AUDU, Canadian dollar. Let's start from there and see whether there are patterns. Okay, I was looking at GBP card and it looks a lot like this, because there's also this one that looks like double bottom here. Price has moved up. However, at the moment, what do we have? Let's see the pattern we are having at the moment. Market is sort of ranging. If I am just looking at this area, this would be a rising triangle or an ascending triangle. Ascending triangle is a bullish continuation pattern, which means every new low created here is higher, but the highs are maintaining the same level. So in that case, what am I expecting? That at some point, the buyers pick up the strength and close above this high. If that happens, I will be looking to do a buy in continuation of the trend that has started here, because at this point we had like a sort of reversal pattern here. It looks somehow like triple bottom, and the price broke above it, the neckline, and it continued up. If I am not looking at the candles with the wick, I'm just looking at what the body of the candles closed, then that would be somewhat like head and shoulders inverted. But if I also consider the fact that the candles, the lows of all of the candle are about like around the same area, I'll just say that's triple bottom. In any case, there are patterns that give idea of like reversal. And what happened? The price did move to the upside. At the point a new high was created, which was a higher high. A low was created higher than the last one. So basically, you being able to tell that this is an uptrend by visual analysis, where you're looking at the tops and the bottoms, and you're able to tell that, okay, higher highs gives higher highs and higher lows gives an uptrend, lower lows and lower highs give a downtrend, will kind of help you to really be able to know what you're looking for when it comes to pattern. Because in the pattern analysis, you're just trying to see, is this trend, is it the established trend? Is it going to continue in the same direction, or is it reversing? The lows and the highs that are created will help you do that. And that also means that when the pattern is still forming, it's best for you to wait for, some kind of breakout or something where you're able to tell that the trend has changed or that the initial trend is ready to continue in the direction that it was taken before. For instance, in this case, we have been having equal high